Do you know what the world's media is talking about right now? All eyes are on Ankara. The NATO summit is underway. World leaders are shaking hands. Peace and global security are on the agenda. The usual headline news narrative. But behind the scenes, the real story is something entirely different. While the cameras are focused on the photo ops, an enormous geopolitical chess game is unfolding out of sight. With the world facing one of the biggest waves of crises in recent history, why did the top leaders from Washington, London, and Berlin rush to Ankara? And what undisclosed documents are hidden inside Trump's famous briefcase that the cameras were never allowed to see? Turn off the television, because over the next 5 minutes, we're going to explore the other side of the story. The side few people are willing to discuss, the closed-door negotiations, the high-stakes diplomacy, and the decisions that could shape the future. If you're ready, let's begin. First, let's put the bigger picture into focus. NATO didn't choose to meet in Ankara on a whim. Take a look at the map. To the north, the war between Ukraine and Russia continues with no clear end in sight. To the south, the Middle East remains one of the world's most volatile regions. And across the eastern Mediterranean, competition over energy resources continues to fuel geopolitical tensions. Now guess who's positioned right at the center of it all? Ankara. So this isn't just another diplomatic gathering. The geopolitical landscape is shifting, and the world's major powers have chosen to meet in one of the most strategically important and challenging locations on the map. Many analysts argue that Turkey's geographic position makes it an indispensable player in regional security and diplomacy. But that's only the public side of the story. The moment Trump took his seat at the table, attention quickly shifted to what his return to the international stage might mean, and to the conversations taking place behind closed doors. Now let's turn to what may have been happening behind those closed doors. When Trump took his seat at the table, one of his familiar messages resurfaced. Europe, he has repeatedly argued, should spend more on its own defense rather than relying so heavily on the United States. But many observers believe his priorities extended beyond burden sharing. Two issues were widely expected to dominate the agenda: defense cooperation and the future of global energy routes. The long-running disputes over the F-35 program and Turkey's acquisition of the S-400 missile system continue to shape the relationship between Ankara and its NATO allies. At the same time, any high-level summit naturally raises questions about potential defense agreements worth billions of dollars. Meanwhile, Turkey's growing domestic defense industry, particularly its drones and armed drones, has reshaped military calculations in several regional conflicts. As a result, many analysts argue that NATO's relationship with Turkey is entering a new phase, one that reflects changing strategic realities rather than old assumptions. In that sense, one of the central questions surrounding the Ankara summit is this: can old partnerships be redefined for a changing world? And if so, how will influence and responsibility be shared in the emerging global order? So what happens when this summit is over? The leaders will board their planes and leave. And by the next morning, we may wake up to a completely different world. A single confidential agreement reached at that table could reshape global trade routes, or even contribute to rising tensions along international borders. Right now, Ankara has become one of the focal points of an intense global power competition. As the geopolitical map continues to evolve, the cards are being dealt all over again. Now I want to ask you the question: how do you think the global balance of power will change after this historic summit? Will Turkey walk away from this high-stakes game with what it wants, or will the cards be dealt against us? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one of them. To make sure you don't miss more hidden stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. See you in the next video, where we will explore the other side of the story. Take care of yourselves.